Back at Fan Expo, day 4, Sunday. It's supposed to be quiet. Does not look quiet here. Tons of people walking all around the street. Didn't hit the South Building last time, and that's what I'm out here to do today. Hitting the South Building with all the vendors and all of the displays from all of the big companies. Heading down Lower Simcoe, completely separate entrance. Sunday, chill day, quiet day at Fan Expo. Hardly anyone here. And on the way in is the mighty CN Tower. At one time, the tallest building in the world, and now it's still definitely the tallest in Canada, I believe. And joining me for this tour of my second day at Fan Expo on the Sunday is former resident of Toronto and a former visitor of Fan Expo, Hans Chow. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. I haven't been to Toronto for quite a while, so this is going to be kind of pretty much a walk through memory lane for me. I remember having a great time.
And there's the Sky Dome and the CN Tower right next door. Lots and lots of people. How busy was it when you went?
Oh, it was kind of a shoulder to shoulder situation. It was kind of excuse me, sorry, kind of pass through.
What day did you go?
Oh my gosh, we went on Saturday.
Oh, that's the busiest.
Yeah, we were university students, so we had work to do most of the time. So if there was a time, that we had a few moments, it would be Saturday. And I went with a few of my classmates. Yeah.
So I was told Sunday was quiet. I went Thursday, which was lovely, especially the early access for press that I got Thursday. But even later on, like that only lasted an hour, but later on Thursday was pretty chill. I was told Sunday's pretty chill. Sunday was not pretty chill. Like, this is Sunday.
Liars!
My wife came with me, and she said she had a great description of what we saw there today. And you still haven't seen the full crowd here. Wait till we get to the actual showroom.
It was similar to this, very similar to this.
She said, I've seen lots of people, like at a big sporting event, baseball field or football field. She said, I've seen a lot of people, but I've never seen so many people moving around and doing their own thing all in one spot. And there's the Knight Rider, the kit.
Wow, that wasn't there last time. Then again, it's been a while.
She, the owner of this, appeared at something called Oblivion Car Show, which runs every year here in Ontario. And she was nice enough to let me sit in it a few years ago, which is amazing because when I sat in it talks, right? So it goes, Michael, hello. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
How did you know?
So I went up to her and I just wanted to say thank you for letting me sit in it. And there's her card right there if anyone in the area wants to hire Kit. And I said, I just wanted to thank you for letting me sit in Kit a few years ago. And she said, I know, I remember you. Like, really? Wow. I guess I really geeked out at the car calling me Michael over and over again.
I know.
And there's a DeLorean there, too, if you want to go back to Thursday when it wasn't as busy. Yeah, I really want to just stress, it's fun. There's a Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
This guy was too cool for school, man.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool when they not only have a great costume, but they embody the character, like the body language. And
he also has the trigger discipline, and you saw the reholstering. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, I was expecting him to fumble with it, but it went right back in. He knew what he was doing. Beautiful location. But when you get down to the bottom floor in the showroom, that is where the waddling and shuffling occurs.
On the left-hand side, that just looks like piles of people.
Yeah. So I wanted to let people know it is a fun event, great to go to, but I'd like to remind the quote of Archilochus, the Greek warrior poet. I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Archilochus said, we do not rise to the level of our expectations, we fall to the level of our training. You need to get yourself in not tip-top Olympic shape, but go for a few walks and get ready for this, because it's a physical toll.
Most conventions, I find, is always the same thing. You kind of go, you do a lot of standing, a lot of walking, and you never feel it when you're doing it. But as soon as you stop for lunch, your legs go, hey, you remember me? We need to stop.
There's a lot of people sitting on the ground, and you don't have to like hit the gym and hit the weights and get steroids and all that. Just walks, just training. Just prepare yourself for all the walking you're going to do and standing. And what's really brutal is shuffling. Like, I've gone to some toy shows that were jam-packed and was sore the next day. Like, why are my ankles so sore? It's from the shuffling, because you can't go into a full stride. you can't walk. You have to shuffle. This place, this isn't one of my typical walking around and showing you cool stuff for sale. I couldn't really get a good look at anything because there's so many people. So I just got some tables from a few feet away, but I wasn't going up to the tables and going through all of them and showing what was for sale. It was just overwhelming. Couldn't focus on anything. It was overload. And I can't do 4 days of this, but I totally get why it's 4 days, because you can't see anything in 1 day or even 2.
One thing I am really noticing, because everything is so big, is the cosplay. I always like the people who can do that, because like when they're doing their normal jobs, that's not who they are. But when they're out here in the con, that's actually who they are. And I'm glad they get the opportunity to dress up and, kind of be somebody else for a little while,
That was the coolest part of the expo for me, actually. Not seeing the stuff, but seeing the people.
Yeah.
Not just the people who were doing great panels, but also the people who had awesome costumes. And you can just walk up to anybody and go, "Hey, man, I love your costume. Can I get a selfie?" And they love it. They're like, "Yeah, come on. Let's go for it." One guy wasn't impressed. I walked up behind him, and he was, I won't single him out, but he was dressed up as a superhero type of guy. And I was like, "Oh, I love it." And I didn't ask him for a selfie or anything, but he just kind of gave me the stink eye and kept walking. I don't know if he was in character or what, but it's like, okay, man, peace be with you.
At the last Joe Fest, I met a Snake Eyes who was in character the whole 3 days. He didn't say a single word, and he was and he was very athletically built, and he had clearly practiced the moves with the sword and stuff too. And I have to say that he sold that hard, and that really made my cosplay experience for Joe Fest. He was primo Snake Eyes, and he put a lot of work into his outfit too. Oof.
I've done Snake Eyes a few times to a few costume parties, Halloween things. I've got a full Snake Eyes rig, and I've done that quite a bit too. And I find I get so sick of the thumbs up and the okay, because that's all you can do if you're Snake Eyes. Okay and thumbs up over and over, and a salute too. There's not much you can do if you're silent Snake Eyes.
If I do it, it's probably going to be either Tunnel Rat or Quick Kick, because I look like both of them, and they both are kind of quippy dudes. So, Ooh.
So just a minute ago, we saw the Rings of Power display. You could actually make your own Ring of Power. And then there's a Transformers 1 display, the new Transformers movie coming out. You get your picture with a backdrop. That's another really cool thing, that these studios bring these big backdrops so you can go get your selfie with them.
My kids are like, "Daddy, we're seeing Transformers 1. All right, okay. I wanted to see it too,
That's who it's for. I mean, I hope you enjoy it too, but that's who it's for. It's not for me. That doesn't mean it other people. That doesn't mean I don't want other people to enjoy it.
I'm super grateful it's for them, because I think I've had 40-something odd years of Transformers. I don't really,
it's hard for anything to measure up to G1 for me, because most of the stuff, the new iterations I see, are either too dark and everyone's Batman, or just too goofy. And G1 had its fun moments, but just over the top, like Lego Movie.
Yeah.
That type of non-stop Lego Movie humor.
Is this a Hasbro booth?
It looks like it. It's just some kind of, there we go, collector's corner. But it looks like it's exclusively Hasbro properties. That was a great mask there.
Yes.
Pumpkin Bomb.
Spider-Man. You have to do that.
Can't say Betsy Spider-Man. What a perfect casting that was. Born to play that role.
Willem Dafoe, man. Jeez. It's so weird to see him as a good guy sometimes, but man.
That's how I started. Elias in Platoon. That was my first
Is he really a good guy in that?
Well, he's one of the. He's not
better.
He's not one of the worst guys.
He's not one of the worst. I'll give you that. Oh gosh, you can't show me these figures. I just finished watching X-Men '97. Buy all of them.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of Wolverine toys over the next year.
Oh my gosh, tell me
they snuck all those cameos into Deadpool and Wolverine, and now we're just gonna see the patch and the brown suit. There's a great looking Luke Cage.
When we first spoke about that movie, we were like, "Yep, it's a movie, all right."
Yeah, that definitely had a beginning, middle, and end.
Oh, these figures really do it for me. The X-Men
97.
Oh, the 97 stuff.
Yeah, that's a great show.
I know. If I
view
X-Men though, trouble.
I jacked my selfie stick way up high to get a 360 bird's eye view of what's going on down here.
Oh, what's going on in the truck?
I have no idea. There's just
there's
everything.
Space Marine too.
There's just too much. There's too much to see. We were so exhausted. We were visually exhausted. We both said to each other, like, I don't know what to look at. There's just too much to look at.
And you went all 4 days?
No, I went Thursday, and then I came back on Sunday.
Okay, well, 2 of the days.
We didn't stay long on Sunday either. And there's Jabba the Hutt. You could get your picture with Jabba. There's Elvira.
Elvira's getting a picture with Jabba. And I think Jabba would have been cool with that, given his tastes. You know?
Now, as cool as that Jabba was, what I really like, and there's Yoda and R2. I liked seeing that Kawunki and Monkey Lizard. Salacious B. Crumb. And there he fell off, and the guy is readjusting him.
Salacious Crumb reminded me of a gremlin, and that was pretty terrifying. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the eyes open and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, the eyes are articulated. He's got his tongue sticking out. You want to choke him. Even got the little frog bowl next to him. Really awesome detail on it. And he's just cuddling his crumb. This is another awesome display. The bunker from Return of the Jedi that Solo blows up, and he's playing a little bongo drum.
Is this the 501st?
Yeah, I believe so. This guy scared the crap out of me. I thought it was a statue, and then it moved. I was like, whoa! And a speeder bike that you could sit on. That was one of the highlights for me. R2-D2 came up to me, and we had a little conversation. There's Chopper there, too. Chopper, not as conversational.
The 501st was there when we went as well, and I have to say those guys I really like those guys. That takes a lot of commitment to do.
It looks authentic. It looks screen worthy authentic.
And it's also, I think they usually do their thing for charity. I think it's every single time it's charity, and I always respected that about them. It was very cool.
Well, this is a cool moment. I squatted down and I just had the biggest smile on my face, and whoever was controlling this thing had it roll towards me and beep and boop and shake, and that just made my day. I loved it.
TR2. I remember I was talking to one of the guys who made one of those, and he says like they have to get like almost a forklift to lift them up because there's so much heavy stuff inside there. It's just phew.
Yeah.
And I was like, you didn't just hire a midget to go inside and kind of do the thing like in the old movie. He was like, no.
There's some horror guys. Jason, Freddy, Pinhead. And the scariest of all, there's a Ghostbuster over there.
There are a million anime characters here too, which I'm always happy to see.
Ontario Ghostbusters in the house and gave me a free poster for Frozen Empire. That was very nice of them. And they had Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man there.
It's Vigo.
Vigo the Carpathian.
Bugs.
I love those Part 2 coveralls, the blue suits.
Yeah.
Oh, Kermit was there. And one of those Harry Potter.
Dementor.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Freaky looking.
I was just watching those movies with my kids. And I forgot how good they were, actually. Oh, this is my jam. It's Lego time, boy.
Huge Lego display. Halo, Cars. I mean, I was just kind of in a perpetual state of exhaustion, and then I just kind of leaned over and like, oh, my eyes happen to be here. Like, you don't even have to really look for anything there. You just kind of hunch over and go, oh, something's in front of me now.
Well, Calvin and Hobbes. Wow.
Yeah, you cannot turn and not see something amazing at Fan Expo. There's the Doctor Who booth.
So interestingly, Fan Expo was my first real big comic convention. I'd only ever been to smaller ones in Trinidad before, and they were very, very small. So when I went, I was like, oh, it's going to be like that. Nope. It was very different.
I'm glad you mentioned Trinidad, because every time I do a video with you, without fail, someone always goes, hey, wait a minute, that guy doesn't sound Canadian or like he's from Toronto. That sounds like a Trinidad accent. Bingo.
A bit of both, actually. It's a bit of both.
Artist Alley, I couldn't get in. Well, I'm in, but I couldn't penetrate the human force field. Like, it was Sunday. They say Sunday's not busy.
Artist Alley is my favorite place to go. You know, I love Artist Alley because, I mean, secretly you kind of go in and they don't know you're an artist too, and you're kind of looking over their stuff and they're talking, and it removes a lot of the, when artists meet artists and they know that each other are artists, I find there's always kind of a, so you're gonna judge my stuff? No, man,
yeah.
We're just here to have fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, just any creative type in 2024 has got to be sick of the judgment and the criticism and the, you know, enough of it. You know, there's been enough constructive criticism at this point in history. I think we can all just shut up and say good job.
There's a very famous Canadian artist named Quirkulicious. I wonder if he was there. He's a phenomenal artist.
Oh, I think every Canadian was there. This is one of the connectors between the South Building and the North Building here.
Oh, there's an ad for that Crow movie.
Yeah, pass.
That was a reminder for me to go and watch the old one, actually.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is North Building, which I visited in the first video, where all the celebrities are. They do their panels and their signings there.
Another building, a whole other facility.
Yeah. So you could, like the first day, I just stuck to the North Building and I was completely fine and happy and sufficiently exhausted. But if you want to be an Iron Man, you can head on over to the South Building too. But there's plenty of stuff just in the North Building.
If you're taking the drive or the flight or whatever, man, drink a Gatorade and get going and breathe the whole thing in, you know?
Yeah.
I love a good convention. I don't get them enough, but, you know, man, you guys up there who can get them a lot, man, drink.
Well, this thing is incredible. I mean, after going to this, I don't have any desire whatsoever to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Why? We've got it. We've got one right here.
That's right. San Diego Comic-Con, I think is I think it's one of the things that everybody talks it up so much, but I don't think, as I said, with Joe Fest, where everybody kind of knows everybody, that to me feels a lot better.
Yeah,
and
more
I prefer
about the people.
Yeah, it's more about the people, more about the things you actually love. That guy you're walking by right there, that's Quirkulicious.
Oh, really?
Recognizes art anywhere.
Wow.
It's hyper vibrant action, kind of, you know, very dynamic. Boxes.
Tons of boxes. The hoodies are still
there.
there.
I remember those guys too. These walls, and I actually bought 3 of those shirts. I still have them. They're not in great condition anymore, but I bought them. They're there. I bought, my wife was actually, not my wife yet, but she was sick when we were talking, and I bought her a shirt with a unicorn on it, and the unicorn was vomiting a rainbow. I've said that to her for her birthday, but I bought it there.
If you gotta puke. Puke rainbow.
Exactly.
There's the back wall of all the celebrities. I didn't get a single autograph I got a selfie with John Rhys-Davies, you saw, but it was from a distance.
Best type of selfie.
The lines were pretty long, and I just I didn't have the time to wait in line for him. There's Gina Carano from The Mandalorian.
I hear she's actually like really tall. I kind of wish she was standing up because I know she's like 6 something for a lady.
She's a warrior. She's MMA.
Yep.
You don't want to mess with her.
No.
Yeah. When Disney canceled her, they made sure to cancel her from a safe distance.
She's built the same way that Kelly Slaughter is, and Kelly Slaughter is like a tough lady, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. What's her name from Firefly and Deadpool? She's not there at the moment, though. There's John Rhys-Davies. What a class act. Absolute class act. Gentleman, scholar, a poet. Wonderful with people. And I didn't even really need to go up to him and talk to him. Just watching him interact with people made my heart soar. And so why go up there and ruin it and have him go, oh, this YouTube douchebag. He's super fun.
He's been in so many movies, and no matter what the funding was for the movie, he always put 150% in, and that made it way more interesting. I think I was watching Dragonheart Part 7 or something crazy like that, and he was the wizard in it, and I was like, man, this movie is not good. John Rhys-Davies is always good, you know?
Sometimes you have to pay for the cabin on the Isle of Man.
Is that where he's from?
Well, Eric said that he's got a house on the Isle of Man. So I said, well, that makes sense. It's named after him. The Isle of Man. He is the man.
So Harrison Ford actually has a fairly large mansion in Tobago.
Really?
He does.
Does he fly himself in there?
I don't know if he flies in there, but I remember like
I picture him flying a jumbo jet in there, coming down to land, clear the runway.
But it was it's quite impressive, and nobody really knew until about 5 years ago when someone saw him driving in, and they were like, "Wait, what?"
I'm sure he was thrilled that they found out. He's a pretty private guy. He lives in Wyoming, so he's not interested in a lot of attention.
He was not happy when they found out.
Well, when he appears at these conventions like San Diego Comic-Con, you can see how uncomfortable he is with giant crowds and a lot of attention, because he's, even on the talk shows that he does, he's just kind of uncomfortable and awkward and okay, well, thanks, I'm glad you liked Indiana Jones.
I think in his heart of hearts and who he really is, he's still just the carpenter that they met right before, you know? That's always been him. But
yeah, that's cool.
You never know.
Well, that's Fan Expo, day 4, Sunday. What a blast it was this year, and I'm looking forward to going next year on Thursday, on the quiet day, when it's a little easier to navigate around. But Hans, thanks a lot for joining me for this virtual tour.
Well, thanks a lot for bringing me. It's actually bringing back a lot of memories for me too.
Check out Hans's art, Instagram.com, Hans_Chow.
That's
right. Instagram. Tons of great sketches on there, and all sorts of artistic things.
Look for my book next year, February.
Ooh, looking forward to plugging that. And that is the 4th and final day of Fan Expo Canada, in the shadow of the CN Tower and right beside the Sky Dome. The South Building is absolutely overwhelming. So much stuff there, so many people. It felt more like I was seeing more people than stuff. The displays for Star Wars were awesome. Jabba the Hutt, all of the different Imperial troopers. It's a lot to take in, so much to take in. Too much to take in for one day. I can totally understand now why this is a 4-day event, because it's impossible to take everything in one day or even 2. I did this 2 days and I feel like I didn't get to go through everything. I barely got to see any of Artist's Alley. So much of the vendors I didn't go through, but it's a happening, as the legendary Gorilla Monsoon would say. So if you're in Toronto or in the area, you're definitely going to want to check out Fan Expo if it is possible. Hope you enjoyed this second tour. Until next time, here to stay.